tip it. Bryant with the save.
Oh, you're going to get a shot here.
Final seconds. Bryant for the win. Bang!
Hello and welcome to Rate Sports. Today I'm going to be giving you a news update revolving around the NBA. First, make sure you like, share, subscribe for more NBA content, and let's get into this video. Now, to start off, we're going to be looking at Karl Anthony Towns. He has recently given a heartfelt message about his situation. Now, Kat is someone who was greatly affected by this pandemic. He has lost 7 family members and friends due to this, including his mother. Now, this would take a great toll on anyone. Now, let me get into what the statement said. That Karl died on April 13th. He ain't coming back. You're talking to the physical me. The man you're talking about from April 13th, I don't know him. He ain't there. No matter how bad my situation is and fucked up my life is, I'm going to keep being there for these guys. Now, that was Karl Anthony's response to a question asking about his situation and what has been going on. Now, even with all this that has happened to him and what he's going through mentally, he's still trying his best to be there for his team. And I wish Karl Anthony Towns nothing but the best, not just for this basketball season and his basketball career, but for his mental strength and for his personal life, because that is more important than a basketball game. Moving on to the next topic, James Harden has been in the headlines for the past few weeks, last month, pretty much since the season has ended, with him basically demanding a trade since the off season, and now he went from not showing up to practices to not playing in preseason to completely just distancing himself from the Rockets. And while doing so, he hasn't been following any of the NBA safety protocol rules, partying with rappers, going to strip clubs, and other parties on a regular basis. He has no doubt been more than a handful to handle. And before that game, their first game of the season was suspended, he wasn't going to be able to play because of the last party he had went to, which he said it was a business meeting or a business party celebration for one of his friends. Now, that game ultimately ended up getting suspended for COVID tracing that the NBA won't say where it started from, so he lucked out there. But he just made his 12th season debut last night, dropping 44 points and 17 assists, showing that he can ultimately do whatever he wants and will still perform at that high level, and showing that he will probably continue to do whatever he wants as long as he's still on the Rockets, as he desperately wants out at this point. Even with the additions of a healthy John Wall and a healthy DeMarcus Cousins, that just doesn't seem like it's enough to keep James Harden engaged and wanting to stay with this team. I think this has run its course, and he is just sick of the Houston Rockets in general. Now, his desired destinations have almost expanded to the entirety of the league at this point, as he just added the Celtics and the Trailblazers to that list. Now, who knows what will happen with this situation? Who knows where he will end up? But he is a superstar, high caliber player, the best of the best. So the Rockets will obviously want a lot for him. And I can see this definitely being similar to that Anthony Davis trade, where the Lakers had to give up all these young assets, a few picks, just to get him. But ultimately it was worth it for the Lakers as they won the championship. Now the Rockets are looking for that same type of deal, same type of trade with James Harden, and they seem like they are not settling for anything less at this moment. But as time goes on, their sort of leverage in a trade is just going to dwindle, as if James Harden keeps sort of forcing his way out of this team, they will have no choice but to trade him. Now, I will keep you updated on that situation. Now, moving on to the next topic, Adam Silver has just stated that there will likely be no All-Star game this season. There will probably just be an additional break where the players can be with their family at home, which makes sense seeing how many people are actually involved in organizing and running All-Star Weekend. There's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of moving people, and with this pandemic still going on, it doesn't seem logical to have this happen. And with All-Star Weekend mainly being for the fans, and seeing that fans aren't even allowed in most of the arenas at this point, I don't see it feasible, and from a money standpoint, how they would profit off of an All-Star Weekend, like I said, with how much actually goes into making it run. And while this is a significant highlight in players' career, and this is a time for them to let loose and have fun, I'm pretty sure most of them won't mind spending this extra time with their family, especially the ones that had to endure the bubble for a long period of time. And the last time there wasn't an All-Star game was in 1999 due to the NBA lockdown. Now, moving on to the last bit of news for today, we're going to be talking about how dominant the Nets have been looking. They won their first game, and yeah, it was against a weak Warrior team, but they also managed to beat the Celtics in a dominant fashion. They made it look pretty much effortless and turned it on when they needed to and ended up winning that game by 28 points. And they do have that same team from last year that managed to finish 7th in the East, and now you got a healthy KD and a healthy Kyrie Irving. They shouldn't ever have a sustained problem when it comes to scoring or creating shots. And if they can form a strong defensive identity, this team will be a huge problem, not just to come out of the East, but to win the whole championship. But I am going to leave it there with this NBA news update. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe for more NBA content, and I will see you tomorrow.
Artest looking, gets it to Bryant. Bryant dribbling, has to put it up with the buzzer. Banks it in!